Hi friends, I want to thank you for joining us in our continuing series of stories from the field. Today I'd like to introduce you to my friend, the Reverend Dr. Denise Kingdom Grier, and the Setshabelo Family and Child Services, or SFCS as they call themselves. SFCS works to keep vulnerable children in their own homes and to place orphans into loving foster or adoptive families. And Denise works with the SFCS staff to raise awareness about family-based care and to establish family and child support ministries with area churches. Denise currently partners with Bethany Christian Services, Christ Memorial Church, and Maple Avenue Ministries, where she also serves as a pastor. I pray that what she has to offer today will be enriching to you. Please come and be fed.
Hi, I'm Denise Kingdom Grier, pastor at Maple Avenue Ministries, and I also have the unique opportunity to serve also for Setshabelo, Family and Child Services in Botshabelo, South Africa, where I serve as a missionary. So part of my responsibility as a missionary is to tell the great stories of what I learn and what I see and what I hear, how God is at work in that magnificent place. And for the last few months there in South Africa, they have been confronted with the same realities we have with the pressing concerns of COVID-19. I was very, very grateful for the leadership in South Africa and the ways in which they immediately closed down the country to suppress the spread of the virus, and the ways in which our staff there at Setshabelo has been able to respond to the needs in their community. Part of what I've learned about what our staff, KB, Kebetso, Sokoboto, and her magnificent team on the ground there in Botshabelo, the city of refuge, part of what they've been doing is responding to the needs of COVID. Those needs in that particular area are a bit different from our own. We realize that 70% of that community, people in that community, are unemployed. And so in a place where unemployment is so low, people are inclined to use their own resources, to sell fruit, to sell wares, to sell varying things that they create on the streets and in the public square in order to provide for their families, and which is true for a lot of our adoptive families and our foster families there in Botshabelo. And so during the lockdown, because people could not be out on the streets selling their wares and had no one to sell them to because of the lockdown, it has led to an uptick in food insecurity. And so our partners, our friends, our sisters and brothers there, our staff has been working hard to attend to the food insecurity, to provide rations for families, adoptive families, foster families, and other families who are vulnerable because of not only the particular circumstances of poverty in that community, but also because of COVID-19. In addition to that, our partners have been working hard to educate their community, have been going to the places where some of the grants and funds are being handed out, and they've been utilizing that time and space to educate the community on the importance of the PPE, importance of wearing masks, of the importance of hand washing, the importance of maintaining social distancing in order to remain safe in their communities. The most unfortunate thing of all is that gender-based violence has taken a huge uptick during that time. Gender-based violence has always been something that Botshabelo has been fighting against and that South Africa has had to battle. And so during these times when people are clustered at home, it's created, unfortunately, more opportunities for more levels of gender-based violence against children and against adults alike. And so our staff has been given therapeutic counseling. They have been responding with listening ears, open hearts, and certainly prayerful spirits to their community, and have been one of the go-to organizations for police and for others in the community to engage around trying to mitigate this horrible pandemic that is on the rise, that is gender-based violence. And so during this time, I've been comforted by the words of the Apostle Paul in Ephesians chapter 6, who reminds us to pray in the Spirit at all times in every prayer and supplication. And so in order to continue to engage in prayer for our families in South Africa, for our staff in Setshabelo, in Botshabelo, I have learned to pray at all times, to pray breath prayers, to pray wailing prayers, to pray vocal prayers, to pray thought prayers, to continue to hold them. And I invite you to do the same, to hold them and their incredible work in your spirit. And I will invite you, church, that wherever you might be praying during this COVID pandemic, or wherever it is that you might be praying for the world or for your particular location, pray with bold prayers. Pray according to God's word. Pray according to God's promises. Pray in ways that will move the heart of God and that will invigorate the hearts of God's people to continue to participate, God, in the great work that God is doing in mission in the world. And as you do so, remember to pray for our staff at Setshabelo Family and Child Services, for their safety, for their protection, and for their families. God bless you. Thank you.